I'm here with Neil and Philip from S4 Engineering on the show floor at PPMA Show 2023. First of all, we're going to take a look at this magnificent 3D scanning device in just a moment and see what it's capable of. But just to paint the big picture here, Neil, S4 Engineering, what does it do, who does it do it for, and how does it do it?
We're manufacturers of complete process engineering from within the food industry, the beverage industry, the pharmaceutical industry, the chemical industry, and the cosmetics industry. We manufacture complete process, design, manufacture, and install complete process. We also commission, we also service and support that process we put in. We'll design the complete process, whatever the client wants. So we'll discuss, the client will want a bit of information, they'll want a process here, and then just deliver the process here. We design the bit in the middle, the process, and it could be a soup, it could be a sauce, it could be beer, it could be whatever, alcohol, it could be anything that the client wants. So we'll design that process to suit their needs. Within that, we've got new technology.
Yeah, so as the old saying goes, you can't manage something until you can measure it. Yeah, exactly. So, Philip, this is where you come in, and we just kind of cast our eyes to this device here. I like a Leica. There's a bit of Leica tech in this camera. So what is it that we're looking at, Philip?
So this is a 3D tripod scanner. You mentioned Leica. There's three main suppliers on the market now for tripod scanners, the leading way of measuring sight. What it uses is what's called LiDAR technology. So it shoots millions and millions of tiny points, laser points. So as you can see, it's doing a 360 flip. And just in the background is a perfect image there on that screen. You can see an existing two vessels we've scanned on site. We superimposed some 3D CAD geometry within the scan. It helps to propose the design. That'll come back in a moment.
So, yeah, LiDAR imaging, like you say, that's the kind of stuff that we're seeing on driverless cars, for example. It's also the same sort of scanner that you can have on the back of some modern smartphones as well, and it's very, very good at capturing this 3D view, this spatial view of a site. Now, I've also seen some cameras, estate agents, for example, use them, architects as well, to get a good kind of visual representation of a house. But how is this different to one of those?
There's a vast difference between the 3D tripod scanner and the smaller Matterports, for example.
Yeah, that was what I was thinking of.
Yes, and other scanners such as the ones you see on the front of cars. They do use a slightly different technology. The biggest difference is the accuracy. So something as a Matterport that you would see through a house, for example, like you mentioned, estate agents, you would see a visual representation, a nice walkthrough of the area. But in terms of, it's just taking photos now. I'll show you in a moment. But the vast difference is in the background of these images. The clients don't necessarily need to know how wide door frames are, how large pipework is. It's more of a visual representation, whereas this scanner would give you up to 2mm resolution, and the range is up to 130 meters. The Matterports are about 5 meters. Resolution is probably up to 50 mil, if not 100. So as an engineering deliverable, this is the tool.
Okay. And the output for that, for example, you scanned your stand here at the show a couple of days ago.
That's right.
And that's given us this. Now, I know that this is something that's only been developed, if you like. I know we don't develop digital pictures, but we develop these spatial images on a computer. And this is I guess you'd call it a low-resolution version, but still useful enough to illustrate the point for the show.
Right. The iPad is there as a visual representation for the customers to see. Obviously, on a computer, back in the office, it would be high resolution. But in terms of visual, what we're all looking at here is what's known as a point cloud. So all these millions and millions of data points as the scanner's moved around. If I just go back, you'll see we've generated a 3D map, so to speak, of the stand. So each red dot is a physical location where we scanned. We then join the dots together, and this is probably where you've seen on the market now the walkthroughs of your houses through your estate agents. They walk through. But embedded behind these images are your millions and millions of data points, which you can measure from very accurately.
And that is the key difference. If I wanted to know, for example, you were saying the thickness of the worktop here.
How far away that is. If we want to install some equipment on an existing line, how far away we can be from it. If we're going to get clashes on site, we can basically pre-assemble as much as possible. And when we get to site, we know we're not going to have any clashes.
Yeah. Fantastic stuff. And finally, this is going to be really, really useful when it comes to site visits, getting the job done right first time rather than having, as they say, measure twice. You're not having to measure twice here if you're getting it right first time.
The benefit from this, we don't go on the client's information, we go on our information. So we'll go into a factory, we'll measure your factory. We'll measure where the drains are, where the steel beams are, where the columns are. So when we actually manufacture our process, we know it's going to fit. Also allows us, the benefit is we can manufacture everything modular, bring it into site and install it rather than be on site, fabricate things on site, where we will bring in everything modular, install it, so the production time is not lost.
Yep.
So they can carry on running, we bring it in, install it, and then we walk away, job done, they're running. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Minimum disruption, maximum accuracy, maximum value. Listen, gentlemen, we'll leave it there for now. But Neil, Philip, thank you so much for having a chat about S4, what it does, showing us the scanner here and letting us see some of the output here. Really, really interesting stuff. Thanks again, gent.
Very much.
Cheers.